Alright, so I'm going to be using a different lens for this. I'm going to try out this 24mm lens instead of the other one that I usually use. The other one's just really heavy and it's really hard to put in like really tight spots. So this one should work out hopefully a little bit better. So this is a ksport coilover install. You guys saw in the last video how we failed at installing those old shitty cheap coils. So hopefully this is a lot better. These are used. They came off a veloster. My buddy Ryan sold them to me for a pretty good deal. He's the veloster that I dipped carbon blue. So check out that video, it's actually up. So first step is loosen up all the lug nuts. I just don't, yeah. Alright, now that they're all loose, step 2, check the car up.
I got your answer. A big ass truck. It's not here. Big that it needs to have like a joint in the middle.
Alright, got the jack stands on both sides. Alright, now just gotta take the wheel off. Just appreciate that meat. Alright, so same things on this side. Alright. So now, all I have to do is remove that bolt, which I believe is a 17, and then a nut back there, which I believe is also a 17, and then it's just gonna drop. So, yeah. 19, alright, I lied, it's a 19, so. There you go, it's one long bolt. There comes out the stock shock. This is the top bolt that goes into the top. Here's the bottom that goes into the bottom. Here's the nut, and yeah. So as soon as I go on the other side and break the strut, the shock or strut, whatever you want to call it, shock, the shock. We'll call it the shock. As soon as I go on the other side and break the shock loose from the bottom, the springs will then come out. So. Let's go on that side. I don't know how good of an angle that is, but screw it. Alright, so yeah, I'm taking off the bottom nut. That should release. This should release everything. That way the springs can pop out. There you go. I'm just gonna go and finish up taking the top off. sure you don't lose those. And there we go. So there's the second one. So now all we have to do is pop out the spring. Bam. There's one. And there's two. So now what I have to do is I had to remove all this rubber and put it on the new spring, which I'm not going to record because isn't that fun. So we'll be back. Alright, so I just put on this side. It's not tight yet, but I'm going to do the other side for you before I tighten it down. Same stuff, just backwards. Fit the top in, put the screw in so it holds it. The bottom one, put this through. Because it's so much lower, you can't really tighten it, so you jack. What I do is I either hold it up or jack it up until it's good enough and then just slide it through the bolt. But before I do that, I'm going to put on the other side so I don't have to do twice the work. So just get ready with the long bolts. Run it through the top. Force the bolt through. There you go. Just gotta tighten it a little bit. Make sure it goes in good. Alright. Take off the bottom nut. Feed this through. And go in with the jack to get it on. A little bit more. See if I can get an angle. So what I was doing is, it has to go into this, you know, just like that, except it sits here. So I was jacking up the rear so it all sits flush. So now I gotta do that on this side. Which shouldn't be that hard because it's being held up on that side now. I had to drop the camera for a second, but basically just like that. So now the nut goes on. Alright, so it's the next day, and I'm going to be doing the fronts. I stopped working on the car because the main focus was the rear. The fronts are fine. The fronts don't rub at all. Like, I could hit the hardest bumps, you know, imaginable. I mean, not really. I could hit the hardest bumps around and it wouldn't rub. So the real focus was the rear. After I put the rears on, you know, I drove around my usual route. I hit the bumps that, you know, I would usually rub, and fine. They do squeak a lot, but I figured they'll settle in and that would go away. But it's freaking perfect out. Everyone's doing their own thing, so I figured I might as well just finish doing the fronts. So we're gonna do that today. Alright, the wheel is off. Next step is I'm going to remove the end link. I'm going to remove the end link, and then I'm going to remove the brake line, and then I'm going to remove these two big guys. Bam. That was a 17. So this is a 17. Just pop right off. Put that back on there so you don't lose it. Next is the brake line. I believe it's a 10. Okay, there goes that. And then there's another line down there. A 12. Yep, that's a 12. Alright, put that sucker in there. Alright, there's the 12. And then the final step is these two big boys. Alright, try number 2. Yep, that was it. Now the bottom one, I don't know if you can see this because I can barely see it, but I'll just keep recording because I could just delete the footage. That's a good thing about recording. Just keep doing it, because if you miss something, that sucks. And then if you just keep recording, all you do is just use up your memory, which isn't that big of a deal. Unless you miss something because your memory's full. Alright. Alright, that's out. Woo, this is one heavy bitch. I'm so bad at this YouTubing thing. Alright, well the coils are on. There's the car. I'm washing it. That's how long I waited to, or that's how long it's been since I finished. But yeah, the coils are on. I drove up and down the street a little bit. And they sounded nice. No weird noises. The back two creak a lot, like every time they compress, but I figured hopefully they'd go away. If not, I'll throw some grease on there or something. But yeah, shout out to Ryan for selling me his coils. And if you like this little video, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button.